People ask me this question all the time because it's a really important question. And the question is memorization the same thing as understanding? And so I'm finally going to make a video explaining if there is a difference between these two ideas. Because if there is, it's going to change the way that you learn information. So right off the bat, I'm going to say that memorization is not the same thing as understanding. They're two totally different ideas. But what makes them different? Let's focus on memorization right now. So memorization, that pretty much means that you're able to remember information or recall it later. That's all it is. But memory itself is the foundation of learning. It's the foundation of understanding. Because how can you understand something if you can't remember the basic idea or concept behind it? But memorization by itself doesn't mean you automatically understand something. So for example, say you memorize all the equations to quantum mechanics. That doesn't mean you understand how to use them or even the ideas they represent. So memorization by itself doesn't mean that you understand everything that you're learning. Understanding is something different. So when it comes to understanding, that means that you're able to apply what you know to different situations. So you might have learned the information in one specific way, but if you truly understand it, you can apply it if the situation or information is in a different form. And so I want to show you this with math, because math is a great example to show you the difference between memorization and understanding. So let's say someone asks you, hey, what's the area of a triangle? And so you could have memorized the equation and you're able to answer it. So you're like, oh, the area of a triangle is A equals 1/2 BH. And so there you go. You got it. But let me show you what understanding means. So say you actually have a problem for math. So maybe the problem is, you have the length of one side is 10 feet and the area of the triangle is 50 feet squared. What is the height of the triangle? So say you just memorize the equation. You'll be able to get the equation like, oh wait, so the equation for this problem is A equals 1/2 BH. All right. But if you just memorize it and you don't understand how the equation works, you're stuck. Because you're like, wait, I have an area and a base. I don't have the height. How do I find the height from this equation? Because all this thing is, you solve for area. And so that shows that you just memorize the equation, that you don't understand it. So this is if you understand it. This is how it works. So you see the equation, you're like, okay, wait, I have area equals 1/2 BH. Wait, I could solve for H, then I could plug in the information from the problem into the equation and get the height. So if I plug in all the information, I'm going to get that the height is 10 feet. And so right there, you saw the difference between memorization and understanding. Memorization, you might be able to get the equation or information that you need, but it takes the understanding part to actually solve the problem. But as you could tell, for understanding, you need to be able to remember the equation or you can't solve it. So you're like, wait, hey, I know what you do. You can like rearrange an equation to solve for the height, but what was the equation for the triangle? So you can see, for you to truly understand something, you need to be able to remember these different things. Because it's not really useful to be able to understand something if you can't remember that one specific thing. It's like, you know that your car needs gas to go, right? But if you can't find the gas tank, if you don't remember where the gas tank is, it doesn't matter. Your car's not going to go anywhere. And so it's the same correlation as to the math problem I just gave you. And so this is the difference between memorization and understanding. Memorization only takes you so far. Hey, you can remember the equation for the problem. Great. Now, can you solve the problem using that equation? That's the understanding part. That's the comprehension. That's you being able to apply the equation. And you saw the understanding like, wait, I can rearrange this equation to get the variable I need, to get the answer I need. And so they come hand in hand. Understanding, you need memorization. But memorization, you don't need understanding. But when you combine the techniques I'm teaching you with your desire to understand something, that's where the magic happens. Because it all comes down to the person. If the person only wants to get by this test with the minimum effort, they're probably only going to memorize something and not really truly understand what they're learning. But if you're the type of person who wants to understand how things work, why you're learning this information, how everything's connected, then when you combine the memory techniques I'm teaching you, that's where the magic happens. Because you can learn the information a lot faster, but then you can start thinking about it a lot more. Like, wait, what was the covalent bond? Oh yeah, that's how it works. Wait, So maybe I can mix these two chemicals together and a covalent bond will happen. So you can think about all these different things. But if you're able to remember the information a lot easier, it's going to be a lot easier for you to actually apply to different information. And so that's the difference between memorization and understanding. Memorization is just being able to regurgitate information. No, pretty much being able to say something. Understanding is being able to apply it to something. But you can't forget understanding does need memory, does need you to remember the information. So I hope this clears anything up, any confusion about memorization and understanding. Hopefully it's a lot clearer, and when you're actually trying to learn information, you're going to ask yourself, hey, am I trying to actually understand the information I'm trying to learn, or am I just trying to remember it? Because it depends on what you're trying to do, because some information that you're trying to learn, like the presidents, that's all pretty much memory, right? You want to know the order of them? You just have to memorize it. There's no understanding to it. You're like, wait, George Washington, George Washington, yes, I really understand it. Oh, yeah, George. You can't really apply George Washington to anything. You know, you're just trying to memorize the presidents of the United States. You can't really apply that to anything. You just have to recall it. But if you're trying to make a rocket ship, if you're trying to make a program, that's where you have to understand what you're doing. But you still have to be able to remember all the other parts that work together. And so, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.